I may not like giving up my holidays, but I gotta admit, this schedule fits the Eagles perfect. Dallas still stinks. Yo, but do it, Kick Dig back here. You know, it's funny to me because a lot of people have said to me over the last month, you're crazy. The deal is done. There's no way that the Eagles are not sending A.J.Brown to the New England Patriots. It's going to happen. It's got to be the Patriots, and that's the way it's got to be. Just shut your mouth, 500, go in your hole, and then come out in September. But the truth of the matter is, what do we hear every week? We're starting to hear the Kansas City Chiefs are starting to look at A.J. Brown again. The Rams are going to possibly circle the wagon again. Now we've got the 49ers are going to possibly be interested in A.J. Brown. Now we are getting another team, a shocking team, a surprise team. You can't even call it a mystery because it's not a mystery because they tell us who it is. But the Jacksonville Jaguars have just entered the building. They have just entered the mother humping building. And what does that mean? It means that this could be a really interesting situation for the Eagles. The Jacksonville Jaguars already had plenty of good wide receiving core, but they rounded out with a pair of draft picks. Now they have a good mix of talent, but they could be looking for somebody better. Okay? And it looks like Jason La Canfora recently reported that the New England Patriots still remain the favorite to land Brown. But the 49ers and the Chiefs, they are underrated suitors, and now you have somebody else, okay? The Jacksonville Jaguars. The Jaguars could be looking to get Trevor Lawrence some help, okay? Here's what La Canfora wrote. Jags receiver Brian Thomas Jr. has regressed and has been the subject of trade rumors, and the 2026 top pick, Travis Hunter, is going to be playing primarily more cornerback than receiver going forward, and a vet like Brown could fill the void there. La Canfora is right when he mentions that Thomas is coming off an underwhelming season, but the Jags still have shown unwavering trust in their third-year wide receiver. Yeah, okay, you can have unwavering trust, whatever. Blah, 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 blah. If you're the... See, to me, this is what I say. You get a quarterback like Trevor Lawrence. You get a quarterback who you pay money, you give him an extension, then you get him no help. You don't go out and get these guys help. It's crazy to me, the amount of teams that will get a franchise, what's supposed to be a franchise receiver, or a franchise quarterback, and then not ever get him the talent around him. I mean, the Eagles have done this. They made this mistake with McNabb. They made this mistake with Wentz, I believe. They didn't make this mistake with Jalen Hurts. And if you're the Jacksonville Jaguars and you have Trevor Lawrence, yes, you try to go get A.J. Brown. So the Jags could definitely enter the sweepstakes. And for me, I don't really care if he goes to Jacksonville, if he goes to the Chiefs. I prefer that he doesn't go to the Rams or the 49ers. If you keep it in the AFC, great. But more importantly than that, more than anything, I want the compensation. I want a 2027 first-round pick, and then I want another mid-round pick. That's what I prefer. I'll settle at, I guess, for a 2028 first and like a second or a third 2027, but I prefer a 2027 first-round pick. But the thing is this, it's all moving in the right direction for the Eagles, because the Eagles, as it says here, are under no pressure to the Eagles are under no pressure to get him to another team early next month. The tough is ongoing tension with the organization is something that would ideally get sorted out sooner rather than later, but there's also the possibility that a contending team loses a top receiver to injury in the next 6 weeks with spring practices underway, which could spice up the market for Brown. I would suggest this. Don't even trade him in June. Wait till you get closer to camp. Wait till teams start panicking. Wait till teams start worrying about a receiver that's injured, or a receiver that don't look that good in spring practices and what they've seen, or isn't learning the offense the way they want, then go ahead and get rid of them. Howie has to play this perfect, and I think he is. And I think we're starting to see more suitors come in because everybody wants a good receiver. Everybody wants an A.J. Brown, okay? And remember, if the Eagles don't get what they want, they're not getting what they're asking for, you keep them. And all that means is you're just even better. Yes, somebody did walk by. That is correct. You were right. You saw that. It wasn't a ghost, I promise. But no, I think the Eagles are in a really good situation here. They just got to play it right. But now we got to keep our eyes open for the Jacksonville Jaguars. So all of a sudden, we have gone in a month from just being the New England Patriots to the possibility of the Patriots, the 49ers, the Rams, the Chiefs, and the Jaguars. I like how this is ending up for the Birds. Another thing that I like is Prize Picks. Check this out. So Prize Picks is America's #1 sports picks app. It's the best place to win cash while you watch sports. The app is really easy to use. Just pick more or less a few players, lock in your lineup, and boom, you're ready to go. And the great thing about Prize Picks, it's available in almost all 50 states, including California, including Texas, including Florida. Now, today, we've got something special. Instead of going players, which we have been doing for a while here, we are going to do something different. We are going to go team. And we're going to look at the NFL because we've had such bad luck with the Flyers and the Sixers. We need a break. Let's get back to some football. And here is one of the things I want to play today. You've got the Dallas Cowboys, and can they make the playoffs? Will they make the playoffs? Yes, no. I'm going with the simple bet. I'm going no. I'm taking the Cowboys to not make the playoffs. You can make real money this way if you take them and you play that. But I got the Cowboys to not make the playoffs. We're going to put 100 on that, and we'll see how it goes. So if you haven't, go to the link in the description, download the app, and use promo code HMA. That's HMA. Download it. Your first $5 entries will get you $50 instantly in lineups. The link is in the description. That's $50 in lineups with just $5 entry. Link is in the description. Use promo code HMA and get into the action with Philly 500, and you'll love it. Shout out to Prize Picks for sponsoring today's video. So the schedule is out, and for the most part, I think most Eagle fans look at this schedule and they say, damn, we are going to be good this year. That's what they're thinking. Now, I may hate some of the dates and when they play some of the games, but I have to admit, in my opinion, I think that this schedule works out pretty good for the Eagles. And I wanted to kind of go over it again with you guys and just give you my thoughts on it. Yesterday I did a prediction. I always do 3 predictions. I always predict right after the schedule comes out, right before training camp, and right after the final preseason game before we go into the season. And it always changes a little bit. It does. But I had the Eagles 14-3. I had them 14-3. And I think, realistically, I think you got a ceiling about 14 wins, and I think you got a floor about 11. So I think between 11 and 14 wins is where they fall. But when we look at it, you start off with Washington, right? That's a home game. You should win that game. Not worried about it. They win that game. Then they got the Titans. That should be a win. The first real challenge is that Chicago game Monday night in Chicago. We owe them one for Thursday. So that's going to be a tough game, followed, of course, by the Rams week 4. If the Eagles start 3-0, I mean, we'll say 3-1, 4-0, everybody's in trouble. Everybody's in trouble. They're going to rock this schedule. Because to me, that stretch right there, those 2 games in a row, is a pretty tough part of the schedule. Then you got to go to England and play the Jaguars. You come back and you got a home game against Carolina, and then a Monday night game, I believe, versus the Dallas Cowboys. Those are both home games. We've got actually back-to-back home games this year. How about that? But I don't know what to make of Carolina. They look like a team on the up and up last year. Will that continue? They're one of those teams that could fall off real quick. But, when you look at like week 6, week 7, week 8, and week 9, I think the Eagles should be able to go through that pretty easy. Well, I won't say easy because you got division games, but I look at, we're playing the second Washington game is November 1st. Now, we do have a history of, for whatever reason, splitting with them, so that wouldn't surprise me. But, I look at the schedule, and I look at the first 9 weeks of the season, and I think the Eagles should have no more than 2 losses. No more than 2 losses. 3 at worst, okay? And then when you come back from the bye, you got the Steelers, who I think the Eagles are much better. Then you got the Cowboys on Thanksgiving, who they're going to destroy. Then you got the Cardinals, who you should beat. Then you got the Colts week 14. And to me, I don't know how good I think the Colts are. And they're playing the Eagles at home. The tough stretch is that week 3 and week 4 game. And then that week 15, 16, and 17. Those weeks, 15, 16, 17, are going to be key for us. Because the Eagles got Seattle, who, just like I look at the Rams can't beat the Eagles can't beat Seattle. They have to prove they can beat Seattle. Then you look at the December 24th Christmas Eve game versus Houston. I think that's, Houston's a decent team. I think the Eagles win, but it's a tough game. Then you got to go to San Francisco on January 3rd. The 49ers have been a pain in our butts the last few times we've played them. No question about it. So I think that stretch right there is really important. And when I look at this schedule, though, I think it's much better than last year. I love the bye week 10. And I think the Eagles, like I said, I think they should win about 13, 14 games realistically. I know people will think that's crazy, but I think that's realistic. When the Eagles are playing the way that they play, there is not one team on this schedule that the Eagles can't beat. All right? You can't give the Rams a game over the Eagles when they haven't proven they can beat us. Just like I'm not picking the Eagles over Seattle until we prove we can beat Seattle. But I think the floor for this is about 11 wins. I think the ceiling is about 14. And if they come out of that week 15, 16, 17, 3-0, something like that, I think the league is probably in big trouble. So overall, I like what we got going on here. No doubt about it. With that said, take care. Talk to you later, of course. Don't be a dingbat. Remember, it's Howie Vision, baby. We're all just living in it. Book your tickets. Book your tickets now. If you believe in that whole conspiracy theory about the colors and the logo, then look at this. That is almost the same exact color scheme as a few years ago when the Eagles went. This, by all account, looks like it's Eagles headed back to the Super Bowl. And that could arguably be the Bengals, which I doubt, could be the Chiefs again. We may get Eagles-Chiefs round 3. Denzel Washington out. Oh, and I don't care that it's on Valentine's Day, because being married to me, all right, being married to me, every day is Valentine's for my wife. Denzel Washington out. That's all, folks.
The brother screwed us.